Hi everyone and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I'm Peter and this is Connor.
Hey, everyone.
I'm so happy. I'm in such a good mood because we're going to talk about Supergirl Season 1 Episode 18. World's Finest is the name. It is the one guest starring The Flash. Full spoilers. But why am I so happy?
Just hearing that title makes me happy, I'll be honest.
Yeah, the title World's Finest does make me happy, but more specifically, I mean, I'd be happy anyway, but
But after this weekend,
yeah, there was a film released. You may or may not know about it. It was called Batman v Superman, and it was atrocious. It was an awful film, and it didn't understand the characters, and there was nothing resembling fun.
do you know what?
At
You
all.
really want our full review?
Yeah.
There'll be a link, and it's like
Yeah.
2 hours of us really just ripping it to
Yeah,
shreds.
yeah. There's a 2-hour review of us ripping it to shreds, but I'm saying that to kick this off because this was infinitely better.
Oh, this was just what I wanted.
That's not to say there's no, negatives in the episode. There's a
Oh,
few.
there
we,
is,
we can
but-
get to them at the end, but everything with them teaming up, meeting each other, the way they react, the way they talk to each other, all of it,
Just
Perfect.
I couldn't have done it any better.
perfect. And I just, oh god, I'm so happy. It was perfect. Not the whole episode, but that part of it, them
Yeah,
intermingling, perfect.
which is kind of what the hook of the episode was anyway. So.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. That's it. There was a couple of other good things about it as well. But so let's get into it. Let's talk about Flash first because it's the obvious big thing. So Silver Banshee has her screaming powers, and she shows up at the office and screams Kara out the window, and it makes Kara unconscious. Now we know she's safe anyway, even if she hits the ground. She's
Yeah.
fine. The ground will take more of a hit than she will. But we just see the streak come in, and the red goes up the thing, and he's like, "Well, I was saving you because."
And the Flash theme kicks in as well.
Yeah, the Flash theme kicks in, which was cool, but it was even cooler later on when they fly off. Well, she flies off and he runs, and like a new version of it plays.
Yeah,
And I was like, oh man, they're really intermingling the themes.
this show benefits so much from them having the same composer.
It does, because they intermingle really well. Even the music intermingles.
He knows
is what I mean.
exactly what he's doing with them.
Yeah. So that was really cool. But the entire first meeting, because I like that he's kind of awkward because she's on fire. He's about to pat her down, but it's like right over her chest, so he's kind of awkward about it. He's like, oh well, maybe I and then she's like, that's fine. He's like, you don't seem bothered. No, I need to get back. And then she flies off, and the clothes just land on him.
Yeah, it's great.
It's so much fun. Right away, just get in. The
Right
fact that-
away, I was smiling.
then he catches up with her, and she's like, I'm Supergirl, and he's like, who now? And then she says the exact same thing when he's like, I'm the Flash, and he's like, who now? And then he names off everyone. He's like Green Arrow, Black Canary, Zoom, Atom. It's like
Firestorm.
yeah, he names off everyone. That was big smile, grind ear to ear, entire time. It was great, and everything after it as well. When she introduces them to the guys, and
Which I think has my favourite moment.
I think I know what you mean.
It's a double hitter in this scene.
Does it have anything to do with the phrase "Do you like donuts"?
That's one of the parts. Yes.
I love that they've made it perfect. Even at the start of the episode when she's got the cupcakes with Kat,
Yeah.
which was a fantastic moment. Like, because Kat grabbing the hand and her being genuinely scared for her life, even though she's Supergirl, was fantastic.
Yeah. No. The other part of that scene was where he comes back with ice cream. and
Yeah,
she's
to prove.
yes. So excited to have it. It's amazing.
Yeah, she's really happy about it. Yeah, and she's like immediately into her ice cream. Like, yes. And even before that, like when he says he has to burn off 10,000 calories per day, Wynn's like, "Oh, you met the right girl," because
Yeah.
they're making it a part of her character that she loves donuts. And what I love
Yeah.
about it is it's kind of pandering to something outside the show, but it's
It
not
feels
something
organic.
Well, it feels organic, but it's also not something that could. We're not going to be complaining in 2 seasons' time that the show's only about Karen or cake obsession. If you catch my drift.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you, yes. Go watch our Arrow reviews to get what I mean by that. But so that was fun right away. The fact that they're making that a thing and they're bonding over it, and also it oddly reminds me of Lois and Clark a little bit as well, which I've compared this show to that a few times before, especially when the pilot and the first few episodes. But in the pilot for Lois and Clark, there's actually a joke where Lois comes to Clark's apartment and she sees him topless and he's all ripped because he's Superman, and he goes to get changed, and while he's getting changed, she looks on his cupboard and it's nothing but junk food. And she sort of cracks a joke like, "Wait, how the hell do you keep that body with all of this crap?" You know, it's kind of like a joke that obviously is superhuman, so it doesn't matter. But so it kind of reminds me of that. Like, she can get away with eating as much cakes as she wants, so it makes sense that she'd be into that.
Yeah.
So that's cool. So nah, it's good. Another scene that I loved with them intermingling was when Barry runs into Kat, because it is perfect. Like, the whole thing, it's just like Barry's just like, "I am so glad you're not on my Earth." That was the whole thing. And then
I love how they built Kat up to actually be kind of terrifying to even these people with powers who deal with like supervillains on a regular basis. But it's like, fucking Cat Grant, get the fuck away from me.
Yeah, exactly. So that was fun, and like him trying to be like, no, the Flash, like, call me the Flash, like, not the Blur, not the Streak, not the.
It's like, we've done this already.
Joe, it was funny as well actually. When she says that the Flash sounds like a guy who jumps out in an alleyway.
Yeah.
That cracked me up. And even the somewhat on the nose
joke
dig
at the CW
about the CW cast, I thought that was amusing. You look like the safe yet racially diverse cast of a CW show. Man,
it's just fun.
That was a lot of fun, and that's just before we even get to the cool power stuff with her using her freeze breath and him using his tornado. Hands at the same
and his
time.
lightning stuff as well.
Yeah, he does the circles and then fires off his lightning.
Do you know what was really cool? I like the idea that you know how when Flash first died last season and you had the crossover with Arrow, and it was like Oliver was like teaching him to be a better hero.
Yeah, he was doing that this time.
And he was doing it with Kara. I really like that.
Would you know what I like more about this? Because everything we've talked about so far is sort of on the surface, like, stuff.
Yeah.
What I really liked about this is one of our complaints about Batman v Superman is that they learn nothing from each other. Now, Kara and Barry weren't even fighting, but you really get the sense that they learn things from each other, especially Kara from him, because she's like, more
experienced,
more of a veteran at this point. Yeah. So like him being when they're out in the balcony, he's like, this is ironic coming from me, but you have to learn to slow things down.
Yeah.
And I like that. I like that he was.
Like teaching her not to rush into it and actually think through the situation.
Yeah, because even when they're in the thing, because he's so used to having like a little team.
Yeah.
And they always have a plan and they always think about it scientifically. So when they're about to go off to fights, they think it's just live wire at this point. Well, by the way, I do like that they brought back a villain from a previous episode.
Yeah, me too. I like this live wire as well.
Yeah. So, but even when she's ready to run off, he's like, "No, what's the plan? Let's have something." And he goes along with it, but.
It kind of gives me the idea that in Supergirl, in the future, they're going to start thinking maybe we should actually have a plan.
Yeah. I'm not going to just rely on the fact that I can use my strength and other powers.
Like they've kind of hinted at it before in the fact that she does actual combat training to not just rely on that, but maybe they'll move more towards actually thinking through things as well.
Yeah. So that was good, and it all led to the big fight in the middle of the park, and you can tell they sort of spent a bit more money in this episode because they were in such a public place in broad daylight. But it all worked out because this was Kara winning back the city. Which,
I liked how they didn't drop that theme either. Like, that was still there.
Yeah, it was the same theme that happened back in episode like 5 or 6 when she was like negotiating the gun, off the criminal, and she didn't have powers. It was the same theme. I noticed that. It's a nice callback musically, and also I like that Barry tries to crack an awkward joke about let's do this like women, and Supergirl's just like, what the fuck? What was that? Like, because it sounded really awkward, so I was really happy that was kind of the point, and she was just like, what the hell?
Yeah, it's like, really?
That's a bit much.
Yeah.
But no, it was don't get me wrong, the elements of this were a little bit cheesy, obviously.
Kind of inherent in the fact that both of these shows at times can be cheesy.
They can, but they kind of embrace it a little bit, and I think that's okay. It suits the style of the show. So yeah, it was a bit cheesy the way the entire crowd sort of sticks up for her. That said, though, it didn't change the fact that I was grinning the entire time, and It reminds me of Superman 2's got the movie Superman 2's got a very similar moment where the people try to rush Zod. They get their asses handed to them, but they try.
Yeah.
You know.
It's this idea that S inspires people.
Exactly. Yes.
Something we did not get in a certain film.
Exactly, and you buy. Because even though she did fuck up, well, she didn't really fuck up. She was on Red Kryptonite, but even though
they don't know that,
her public image has been tarnished, she did earn it first before that. So when she's shown to do one thing to
really go out of their way to save people, yeah.
Like you can buy that they're willing to take that one thing as a reason because she was there for a year doing all this other stuff and she already did this and so no, it was a really nice moment and there's also something really oddly touching about the fact that it's neither Flash or Supergirl that saved the day.
Yeah, it's a weird reversal considering it's hyped up this team up. You'd think, they're gonna have to team up to win, and then in the end, it's something else entirely.
Yeah, it's just regular people. It's the firefighters who are just who think outside the box. Well, not even outside the box. It just makes sense, but
of course it does. As soon as you think about it, it's like, well, yeah, obviously water.
Well, that's how they beat her last time, right?
Maybe.
I think it was. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because they mention it.
Yeah.
In fact, maybe you've been on the previously on segment, and I'm just.
Yeah, I think it was a little convenient how when she was losing control of her lightning, the only person it hit was Siobhan.
Yeah, maybe a little convenient, but I'll just accept that as like there's a radius, and she was the only one that was in that radius.
I'd have liked it to hit Supergirl as well, though, and she just kind of shrugs it off.
Yeah, it could have worked. But no, I like that moment again, and the idea of the fireman like putting out his hand and like helping Supergirl up, even though she doesn't really need it, but it's a symbolic thing, and it's
yeah.
I could have almost done without the line though, because he says like it was our time to help you. I think it'd have played better had the music just done its thing and just have them.
Yeah, it's like a little too on the nose.
Yeah,
just a touch.
Which is tends to be my problem with these shows sometimes, is that they can just be a little bit too on the nose with their messaging. But that said, the messaging is correct.
Yeah, it's portraying the right message, so we'll let it off.
Yeah,
this week of all weeks. If this had been a month ago, maybe we'd have criticised that a little bit more. But this week, it's just a relief to see this being done right.
Yeah, I am eternally happy for Supergirl and the Flash now. I really am.
Yeah,
really am. So. To wrap up Supergirl and Flash shenanigans.
Can we not talk about some of the other stuff in the episode?
Yeah. I was going to get to that. I was saying let's talk about the last thing about that specifically.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, you
made it sound like you were wrapping up.
No. I just meant wrapping up that one specific plot strand.
I'm going to say.
So they're good. Well, there's technically one other Flash related thing, but it kind of bleeds more into the whole plot. So them saying goodbye with the race and it being like her like throwing him. Admittedly, I think they could have done a better job with the throw itself. It looked like just a shove more than anything else. But
yeah, but I guess a throw at super speed is kind of just a nudge.
Yeah, I suppose. But that was cool, and I liked them saying goodbye and hugging, and the fact that they genuinely like each other. And Flash wasn't like, "Do you bleed?" Like
I did like Kat completely knowing who it was Barry as well.
Yeah, I really like that as well. Like she's smart. It's like, so Barry shows up and then this guy shows up. Yeah, it's Barry.
It's got me convinced again. She still knows Kara's Supergirl. She knows, and she's just kind of going along with it.
Even the way she sort of went, I can tell if someone's hiding behind, like being a normal
like right
person
in front
like that,
of me,
and she snaps her fingers right in Kara's face.
It's just, I feel like she's just going along with it for Kara's sake.
Yeah, maybe. But so them saying goodbye was pretty cool, and him just sort of casually dropping Girl of Steel, and then her being Scarlet Speedster, and even Wynn loving him, just all these little things. Everything was so nice. And
yeah, you know who didn't love him?
Yeah, Jimmy. I was getting to that.
Yeah,
we're getting to that. Before we move on, though, I really want a sequel of this.
Oh, we're gonna get one.
I want Supergirl and Flash's show.
No way they don't do this again. You know how like the Arrow crossover is like an annual thing?
Yeah.
No way they don't do this again at some time.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll be yearly, but they're definitely going to do it at some point.
Yeah.
Whether it's Flash, because I really want... It's annoying though, because I'm glad that Alex and Jean weren't around, because I feel like if they would have been there, it would have been too packed of an episode. Like the benefit of having them sort of gone for that episode was that, you know, you've got two villains to deal with. You've got Barry.
You don't have to
now as
introduce another two people to Barry.
But I want them to meet him, specifically Jean. For some reason, I just like the idea of them meeting.
Yeah, and he was really excited at the fact that she was an alien as well.
Yeah.
So seeing a more alien that wasn't human looking might be even cooler.
Yeah, that was cool. But I also want Supergirl to meet like Cisco and you know, stuff. Because I think that'd be fun. And also, since Barry gave her advice about like dating and all that, I do kind of like the idea of her coming over at one point and noticing like Iris, and giving him some advice and being like you help me get my black significant other. How about you go and get your black significant other, right? You know, that's actually a good point. Both of the love interests were changed to black in the TV shows.
That is true.
I never even thought about it that way.
No, I hadn't thought about it either.
That's interesting. But yeah, so all the crossover stuff, that was all so much fun.
Couldn't have been much better.
Yeah, and even when he jumps through the rift at the end, it looked like the rift from the Flash. So they
It
didn't
does.
even.
And I think I know when this is set, but I don't want to say anything because I think it's a little bit spoilery for tomorrow's Flash episode.
Okay, but you think it's going to?
I've read the synopsis for tomorrow's Flash,
Right.
and it would make sense to me if it's sometime during that episode.
Okay, cool. Okay, that's nice. I like that. And we'll see how he gets that thing on his chest that he was using to help with the travelling. So that's cool. Well, in that case, it's nice that they aired in the same week. If that's
I could be wrong, but you know.
Of course, if you only watch Supergirl and don't watch The Flash, and you're watching this review, we do review The Flash as well, obviously, and I would recommend checking out Flash. Hopefully, this is maybe.
I feel like if you like Supergirl, you'll like The Flash.
Yeah, for the most part, I think it's pretty similar sensibilities. Arrow, I would stay far away from, but
don't go near that dumpster fire right now.
Yeah, North Korean dumpster fire, I believe is the phrase.
Yeah, I was shortening, for, you know.
But yeah, so that stuff was all good. But there was some other stuff to mention in this episode. I suppose we should mention Silver Banshee and how she actually... Because, I mean, one complaint I would have is that they kind of have to rush how she gets to being a person in a costume.
See, I liked some of the stuff with Silver Banshee in this episode. I like the idea of her hearing the voices.
Yeah, no, I like that. Because in the comics, it's something that very much travels from person to person. It's not just... person becomes Silver Banshee, so they got that sort of aspect of it kind of right. What I just felt like the her decision to immediately be like, oh yeah, I'd love to kill someone, felt a bit quick, and then
She looked a bit goofy.
Livewire. Well, that didn't actually bother me that much because it turned out that it was just a costume. Like, it wasn't like that was part of her powers, like in the comics where she has that appearance.
No, I get it was just a costume, but it feels like. It feels like Livewire had a bit too much fun with the makeup, and she's just like, I'm just gonna go over the top with this.
Yeah,
just had fun with it.
But again, it didn't bother me because it was just a case of Livewire saying, "Oh, you need a look," and then they just did it.
Yeah.
Had it actually meant to have been like hard, like real look,
that'd be awful.
Yeah, but it was meant to just be makeup and a costume, so that's fine. That's what it looked like. So
they're an anti-Taylor Swift squad.
Yeah, anti-Taylor Swift squad. Yeah, amusing. And apparently they have 3 Musketeers on both Earths. So there you go. That's that. Interesting to have a central city,
but no Star Labs or any of the other key members.
I wonder what central city character they could have on Supergirl's Earth. Makes you wonder. Do they have a Jay Garrick? I mean, there's a lot of Jay Garricks kicking about. It would make sense. It would make sense.
If they've got anything, it's going to be a Jay Garrick, let's be honest. Imagine if they could have a proper Jay Garrick running around with powers on that show, like as an occasional guest star.
Oh, yeah, she could run into him, yeah. Maybe she has to go to Central City for some reason, and there Jay just gets his powers.
Yeah, and that's like, instead of, you know how we have modern Flash, and then we've got this classic Flash in the show with Jay. What if their Flash is just this classic Flash?
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, that'd be my idea complaint. But I like that they brought a villain back, and even if them teaming up seemed a bit quick, it got us to where we needed to be, and some minor complaints with that, but nothing big. Although I will say, I was glad that her aunt who owned like the magic shop, her accent turned out to be fake because it sounded fake.
Yeah.
So it was fair play, but it turned out to be like a phony thing. I was like, yeah, cool, that's fine.
Yeah. It's allowed to sound awful at that point.
Played by the actress who played Fraser Crane's manager on the hit show Frasier, as well.
Get you.
That's what I immediately thought when she popped up. I was like, oh, it's I can't remember her name, but it's that's the manager. It's the nut job. But yeah, the last thing I suppose we need to talk about is Jimmy's story throughout this episode, which had its ups and its downs. I enjoyed some of the jealousy.
I enjoyed some of it, but it was just too much.
It was a bit much. It was a bit on the nose, like we said, with the whole thing. I enjoyed Kara being happy that he was jealous when Kat was asking her about it.
Yeah.
I think when she's enthusiastic about anything, to be honest, I'm kind of into it. She's got a very bright personality that really gets you along with her.
It makes she's just really contagious almost.
Yeah. But we've said before, we don't really feel this relationship all that much, and I've got to admit, the actual kiss just kind of confirmed my thoughts, but I'm like, yeah, this feels awkward. They don't have chemistry.
Yeah, I'm not feeling it.
Nah. That said, I will give them props. His I mean, it turned out to be a part of a plot thing, but his reaction after they kissed was not what I was expecting.
No, not at all.
So that was nice. It was nice to have a little surprise like that. But obviously, this is just setting up for what I assume is a 2-part final, because we've got 2 episodes left.
Looks that way.
And it seems like it's going to be big in scale, and Non's going all out,
Take over the Earth. Classic.
Yeah. And I'm assuming we'll get a subplot with Jean and Alex.
Yeah, bring them back in for the ending.
Yeah, I can see that.
Shoot Lucy. That'd be great.
Now, to be fair, she wasn't as bad this week.
She wasn't, but she only had like 2 lines.
Well, she had that scene with James and, so on.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that scene.
And that was easily our weakest part of the episode, because she was referring to all this crap that we didn't like about her, but I like the idea that they've kind of, that feels like that's ended now, like her giving him that advice.
Yeah, hopefully.
And her just being the head of the DEO and, questioning prisoners. Admittedly, she's nowhere near as good as Jean was at it, but she's fine in that role.
She's not as bad as she was, I'll give her that.
I'd
still happily have her take a bullet to the face, though.
Oh, of course, yeah. I wouldn't mind her dying either, but she's fine in that role because it's like a nothing role, if you know what I mean. Like, she's just there to be the plot device.
Yeah.
She's not...
She doesn't have to actually do anything.
Yeah, she's not a character. She's just, giving out orders and being that person. I mean, they might develop her next season, on the highly likely chance we're getting a second season, because it seems likely, but they've still not confirmed it. So... No, but I mean, for all the little nitpicks you could have, the actual crossover element, them teaming up, fantastic. I had a giant grin on my face the whole time. Something that I did not have for a single second in Batman v Superman. So, thank God for Flash, thank God for Supergirl.
Just proof that DC TV is just better than the movies at the minute.
And judging from the episode before Christmas, I think it was episode 9 or 10, something like that. Maybe it may have been 8. I can't remember.
I want to say 8.
Yeah, but that one that was basically the giant middle finger to Man of Steel. I've got a feeling some people on the writing staff for these shows feels the same way.
Yes.
So no, I am so thankful. Supergirl gets what the idea of Superman and the idea of that symbol means far more than those movies do right now. So I couldn't be more thankful. So that is our review, somewhat glowing review of this week's Supergirl. So.